In America, you can bet on the future price of almost anything. Oil, gold, cattle, coffee, even frozen orange juice. But there is one thing, one single farm crop, that federal law specifically forbids you to trade. Onions. Not plutonium, not anthrax. Onions. It's been a federal crime to trade onion futures for almost 70 years. And the reason is one man, a farmer from New York, who pulled off one of the most audacious market manipulations in American history and broke an entire market doing it. This is the story of the Great Onion Corner. 1955. Vince Kosuga, onion farmer, restaurant owner, and, this is the important part, a ferocious commodities trader. His stage was the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And here's what almost nobody remembers. Back then, onions were one of the hottest markets on the entire exchange. Together with his partner, a produce dealer named Sam Siegel, Kosuga was about to run the oldest play in the manipulator's handbook, at a scale nobody thought possible. But to see the crime, you first have to see the tool. What actually is a futures contract? Picture an onion farmer in spring. Harvest is months away, and he has no idea what onions will sell for by then. A crash could wipe out his whole year, so he locks it in. He signs a contract today to sell his onions this fall, at a price fixed right now. Whatever the market does, his price is safe. That's a futures contract. For the farmer, it's insurance. On the other side sits a trader, taking the risk and hoping to profit. And all those bets, colliding in one open market, do something valuable. They tell everyone what onions are actually worth. Insurance for farmers. A price signal for everyone. That's what a futures market is for, when nobody's cheating. Now for the cheating. In the fall of 1955, Kosuga and Siegel started buying, quietly, relentlessly, onions in warehouses, contracts for onions not yet delivered. Week after week, railcar after railcar, until they controlled about 30 million pounds of onions. That was roughly 99% of every onion available in Chicago. 2 men, nearly all the onions. This is called cornering a market. And once you own the corner, the price isn't discovered anymore. The price is whatever you say it is. Anyone who had bet prices would fall now faced a nightmare. To settle their contracts, they needed onions, and there was only one place in town to get them. First, Kosuga and Siegel squeezed the market upward and cashed in on the way up. Then they did something even bolder. They summoned the onion growers and made them an offer straight out of a gangster movie. Buy our onions at our price, or we dump all 30 million pounds and bury you. The growers, staring down a man holding the entire market, paid up. Extortion, with a commodity contract instead of a crowbar. And then came the double cross that made this story infamous, because Kosuga dumped the onions anyway. But first, he flipped his bet. Having sold near the top, he loaded up on contracts that would profit if onions crashed. Then he opened the floodgates. 30 million pounds of onions poured into Chicago. The market didn't fall, it ceased to exist. In August, a 50-pound bag of onions cost $2.75. By March, 10 cents. A 96% collapse. 10 cents was less than the price of the empty bag. The onions were now worth less than the sack they came in. Kosuga and Siegel walked away with millions. Onion farmers across America were destroyed, a full year's crop worth less than the packaging. Some growers dumped truckloads into rivers rather than pay freight on worthless onions. The farmers screamed to Washington, and Washington held hearings. Asked if he felt any remorse, Kosuga reportedly offered a trader's shrug. If it's legal, it's legal. Congress decided it shouldn't be. A young Michigan congressman, future President Gerald Ford, championed the ban, and in 1958, the Onion Futures Act became law. Not a ban on cornering markets, a ban on onion futures themselves. Kill the market, and the market can't be rigged. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this one, hit subscribe. We tell one story like this every week, and there are some wild ones coming. Because here's the twist. The part that turns a great story into a genuinely important one. The ban is still law today, so it worked, right? Onion prices calmed down? No, they got worse. Economists who studied onion prices after the ban found they swung more violently without a futures market than with one. Because remember what the market actually did. It let farmers lock in prices, and it broadcast what onions were worth. Kill it, and every farmer is flying blind, guessing at next season. Planting too much, then too little. Congress didn't ban the manipulation, it banned the insurance. And that's the real lesson buried in the onion story. Markets like this aren't casinos bolted onto farming. They're tools. Insurance plus information. The villain of 1955 wasn't the tool. It was the man who grabbed all of it at once, and the referees who never saw him coming. Punish the cheat, and you keep the tool. Ban the tool, and you punish everyone who used it honestly, forever. Almost 70 years later, onions still trade blind. One farmer, 30 million pounds of onions, a market that never came back, and a law so specific it names a vegetable, the Great Onion Corner. The manipulation so perfect, Congress banned the whole market instead. There are more stories like this: silver, copper, orange juice, even movie tickets. Tell me in the comments which market you want us to break down next.